Every day, millions of people buy investments. They study charts, follow market news, and search for the next opportunity. But behind every trade is something far more valuable than the trade itself, the platform that makes it possible. Long before an investor clicks the buy button, an invisible system has already verified identities, secured accounts, connected payment networks, organized portfolios, and prepared the infrastructure that allows financial transactions to happen in seconds. As digital investing continues to grow around the world, a new opportunity is emerging. Not simply investing in financial markets, but building the platforms that power those markets. Because in the digital economy, the businesses creating the marketplace can become just as important as the markets themselves. For decades, investing depended on financial institutions, paperwork, office visits, and limited trading hours. Access to financial markets was often controlled by geography, infrastructure, and the availability of professional intermediaries. Today, that experience has changed dramatically. Investors can open accounts, verify their identities, monitor portfolios, and execute transactions from almost anywhere in the world. This transformation wasn't driven by financial markets alone. It was driven by digital infrastructure. Modern investment platforms have become the bridge connecting millions of individuals to opportunities that were once available only through traditional financial channels.
The most valuable investments don't simply process transactions. They create an environment where financial activity can happen efficiently, securely, and repeatedly. Investors need intuitive dashboards. Administrators need operational oversight. Payment systems must move funds reliably. Security systems protect user assets. Reporting tools build transparency. Together, these components form an ecosystem where trust and efficiency become part of the product itself. The platform isn't merely facilitating investments. It's creating the operational environment that allows an entire financial community to function.
Every transaction you see on the screen depends on dozens of systems working together behind the scenes. Identity verification establishes trust before an account is activated. Payment gateways connect financial networks. Portfolio databases organize investment records. Notification systems keep investors informed. Administrative dashboards coordinate daily operations. Security layers continuously protect sensitive information. Most users never notice these components because they are designed to remain invisible. Yet together, they form the architecture that makes digital investing reliable, scalable, and accessible. Now, let's connect these ideas to a practical example. Today's case study is online trade, available on Envato Market. Rather than viewing it as a finished business, think of it as an architectural reference that demonstrates how many of the core building blocks behind an online investment platform can be assembled into one system. Studying examples like this helps entrepreneurs understand the operational architecture first, making it easier to evaluate how different business models can be built on top of a similar foundation.
Let's examine this platform from the perspective of business architecture rather than software features. At first glance, it appears to be a trading application, but beneath the interface is a framework designed to coordinate people, capital, transactions, compliance processes, and operational workflows. Every dashboard, every user role, and every administrative tool exists to reduce friction inside a complex financial operation. That's an important distinction. Great platforms aren't built by adding more features. They're built by removing operational complexity for everyone who depends on the system.
Technology alone doesn't convince people to invest. Trust does. The role of the platform is to make that trust visible through consistent user experiences, transparent reporting, secure account management, and reliable operations. When these elements work together, investors spend less time questioning the system and more time focusing on their financial decisions. That's why the strongest investment platforms aren't remembered for having the most features. They're remembered for creating confidence through every interaction. One of the biggest mistakes entrepreneurs make is assuming that competitive advantage comes from writing every line of code themselves. In reality, sustainable advantage often comes from understanding customers better than competitors do. Existing infrastructure can accelerate development, but it doesn't define the business. Market positioning, customer acquisition, operational excellence, compliance, brand reputation, and long-term relationships are far more difficult to replicate than a software interface. That's where enduring businesses are built. This case study represents just one example within a much broader financial technology ecosystem. As you explore similar platforms, you'll notice recurring architectural patterns: user onboarding, identity verification, wallets or payment processing, investment management, reporting, administrative controls. Different businesses combine these building blocks in different ways depending on their markets and regulations, but the underlying architecture remains remarkably consistent. That's why experienced entrepreneurs study categories instead of products. Once you recognize the pattern, you can evaluate any platform through the lens of strategy rather than marketing. Throughout history, financial markets have evolved through better infrastructure. Stock exchanges created organized marketplaces. Electronic trading accelerated transactions. Mobile technology expanded access to millions of new investors. Now, digital platforms are reshaping how financial services are delivered, managed, and experienced. The greatest opportunity may not always belong to those making individual investment decisions. It may belong to those designing the systems that allow millions of investment decisions to happen efficiently, securely, and at scale. Markets create opportunities. Infrastructure multiplies them.
If you're exploring opportunities in financial technology, don't begin by asking which platform looks the most impressive. Start by asking deeper questions. Which market are you serving? What problem are you solving? Why will customers trust your platform instead of another? Once those answers become clear, technology becomes a strategic tool rather than the strategy itself. Software can accelerate execution, but sustainable businesses are built on customer trust, operational excellence, regulatory awareness, and a business model that continues creating value as the market evolves. If today's architectural case study gave you new ideas, you'll find the link in the description below. Explore the live demo, observe how the platform is organized, and compare it with other investment platform projects available on Envato Market. Don't search for a perfect product. Search for recurring architectural patterns. Study how different businesses organize users, workflows, transactions, and operations. The more patterns you recognize, the easier it becomes to evaluate opportunities and design systems that fit your own vision. Behind every successful financial platform is an architecture that most people never notice. The interfaces may evolve. Technologies will continue to advance. Markets will rise and fall. But the organizations that endure are those built on systems designed to adapt, scale, and earn trust over time. That's the purpose of this series:
not to recommend software, but to decode the business architectures shaping the digital economy. If you enjoyed today's episode, subscribe and join us as we continue exploring the invisible systems behind tomorrow's opportunities. Until next time, keep learning, keep building, and remember, wealth is not built by working harder, it's engineered through systems.